Hi, welcome to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. This is a show where we take some of our local favorite restaurants, ask them to come in here and show us some of their signature dishes. Today's favorite local restaurant is my restaurant, Calvetti's Martini Grille, located in Riverside, Illinois, right in front of the water tower. So I'm going to be cooking three of my signature dishes that I cook at the restaurant, and who's going to be sampling them today is our celebrity judge panel over here. Mr. John Passarella, welcome back, looking sharp as usual.
Nice to be here.
It's Mrs. Patty Farley from the culinary division here. And our new guest student over here is Mrs. Lauren Preston on the third seat over here.
Thank you so
Welcome,
very much.
Lauren. You ready to try some food?
Thank you.
Excellent.
Student?
So,
Student
yeah, I called her a student.
You want my glasses?
She's going to say thank you later. It's
I will
okay.
say thank you.
I'm in trouble.
Okay, everything's hot over here. My first dish that I'm going to cook today is my famous chicken and cheese quesadilla with a chipotle sour cream and garden fresh salsa. Okay, so first I'm going to take my tortillas. They're about 12 inches around. I also use sun-dried tomato tortillas. Very nice. Sun-dried tomato and basil tortilla. A lot of the restaurants have gotten away from the flour, the normal white, kind of boring kind of thing, which is still good. I still make those at home, but this is great for the customers. And you can pick this up at your local stores and make this at home as well, just so you know, okay? Also, what I do is I have specialty cheeses here. A lot of people use Chihuahua or mozzarella or American. I use a blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar. It blends well together. It's got some little spices in it and stuff like that, some Spanish spices. So you start to build it like this. Let me turn this up so it's ready to go. There you go.
So you can purchase those tortillas.
Yeah.
Salt.
Sure. I mean, I get everything, obviously.
Typically just corn.
I get everything, through obviously wholesalers, but you can get all this stuff at Sam's or Jewel. Huh?
Nothing in the pan.
No. I'm doing this now. I make this in a panini grill. I just wasn't sure how the panini grill was going to smoke on a show. I do a lot of cheese, so I like it to dredge over.
She complains about garlic. If you want garlic,
I know there's no mayonnaise today, Patty. Okay.
Mayonnaise, thank you.
Oh, it's the mayo.
See, someone remembers.
Take a
she complains about something every show.
fresh chicken breast
Mayo.
that you can season yourself, or you can take it, just a regular chicken breast that you cook.
Pre-cooked?
Yes. Yeah, well, I pre-cooked it before I got here. But.
Would you normally do that?
Huh?
I mean,
I have. Yeah, we cook our chicken over there, and then leave it ready.
What I'm saying is, just not going in the dish raw.
This is no. This is
for
basically a
those
quick
out there
heat
wondering.
dish where
Right,
we're taking the cheese, we're gonna take the fresh cooked chicken,
I knew
scatter
that.
it everywhere.
Share that with people.
I usually
right.
dice it pretty small so it scatters everywhere. You can hear it
So when the
sizzling
kids are
already.
hungry, this sounds like something.
This is quick, neat,
pretty good.
easy.
And healthy.
But
And
the
the
only
hot-
thing you can make ahead of time for this dish would be the chicken, right? The rest
Yes,
has to be by orders.
Yeah, there's different variations of this. You can add your mushrooms. You can add roasted peppers. Peppers would be great. I kind of take credit for. I invented the fajita quesadilla a long time ago. Yeah, it's a fajita quesadilla. I used to grill up my fajitas, steak or chicken, peppers, onions, oil, seasoning, and saute that up, and then I used to put it in a quesadilla and dump cheese all over that, and then throw that in the oven.
Right,
And I just slice that
you
up.
said you've been doing. You invented this a while back. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since I was 19. Since
Wow.
a year after I graduated from RB, actually.
Graduated from RB.
Yeah, I graduated from RB.
Did you take culinary classes?
I
while
was
you
in
were
cooking
here?
class. Yeah, she loved me. I can't remember the teacher, but I loved it.
Julie
It was.
Remember
Mrs.
Mrs.
I think it
Farley?
was.
No, I
back then?
wasn't.
She wasn't here.
I think it was.
A student on the end.
I think it was my 7th period class.
Sorry, she's the
She
teacher.
still owes me a batch of cookies. I will get them from her.
So you said you're cooking this on what they'll eat at the restaurant?
I use a panini grill at the restaurant
What is a
because
panini grill? 'Cause
it,
I'm not familiar with that.
panini grill is when you a panini grill is when you it cooks from both sides of it,
Okay.
and it's
Oh,
usually
okay, I
a
see
serrated
what
grill.
I see.
Kind of like a waffle iron.
Yeah,
lack of
that's
a
what I'm
better-
visualizing for sure.
But
gonna
you know
flip this
what
over.
they're showing a lot on the Food Network shows is that you can just take like a brick and wrap it with tin foil and heat
Yeah,
that.
just to add the
and
weight
To add the
on it.
weight and then the heat.
You're talking about a brick.
Well, not
an
everybody.
actual brick.
Not everybody has a lot of space for all of these little mini appliances.
Yeah,
Ever heard
it's
of
about
that, Pete?
this big.
'Cause I'm
Yeah,
not
I mean it's an
believing
old cooking technique.
That's why she knew it.
Yes.
Oh, boom.
Remember, she was your student.
Yeah.
Or you're teaching.
Yeah, it's just to
I'm
apply
dead.
pressure and cook from both sides. So it
plastic
grills from both
surgery
sides. So you're
works
not
well.
flipping something like I just did.
right.
You're cooking it from both
So
ends.
so here it's a little kind of unique in the
Yes.
sense how you're approaching it.
So you just get the cheese melted down, which takes a minute. But anyways, yeah, I graduated in 90, and then about a year later, I moved to Georgia. And my family owns a lot of restaurants out there, Mexican-style
awesome.
restaurants. So
Okay.
that's how I got to learn.
Pete, for those people, those kids that are out there in culinary classes, what's your thought as far as your journey and relating to where they're at, and how they
Experience,
might begin?
get a job,
That question.
get the first off, you got to have the passion for it.
For sure.
Either you're a cook
Pair
or
of
you're
good
not.
shoes.
Did you ever think you'd end up where you are?
No, but since I started it, I fell in love with it, and I was a natural at it.
Because there's a lot of kids out there that are involved in the culinary classes, and they're going, well, where is it going to lead me? Look where it led you.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And you began it here. So
I
you
began
made
it
something
here.
beyond the,
Actually, I
alumni
began when I was
achievement
12 years old. I started cooking.
for the
I used to
family.
wash dishes and flip pizzas at a little local restaurant.
Seriously.
Well, and that's what I try to tell the students, Pete, is that really any job in a kitchen is going to be a benefit to you.
Yes.
You can't imagine starting as a sous chef or a line cook right
no,
away.
no.
No, you see, you get the experience.
those-
Right.
And you know what you want to do.
But all of it helps.
For those who
Right.
haven't been to your restaurant yet, they're missing a lot, obviously, but what's something you really are proud of and excited about? I know you have dishes here, but
That I opened it.
Yeah.
And I was a 35-year-old guy that opened his own restaurant.
How long have you
pretty
been in
cool.
business?
Well, I owned a restaurant before this,
Okay.
but I've been at this place for 2.5 years. Please pass it down.
Okay.
for sure. To the student.
To the student,
Yes.
again, thank you
Student to
so
the guest
very
And
much.
I'll hand it to the person next to me so she doesn't drop it.
Oh,
Because I saw
the
you
So this is a
aging-
Chipotle
aging
sour cream,
hands.
which is a little bit spicy.
Here, may I?
I like adding a little bit of spice.
have a bit.
What is
I'll
the
finish
orange your sauce again?
I'm sorry?
What's the orange your
the
sauce?
Chipotle.
It's a Chipotle sour cream.
You make it yourself? Where
Yes,
is
I
it?
made it myself.
Thank you, sir.
Fresh sour cream, fresh Chipotle peppers, a little salt, a little pepper.
I know we've discussed this
Robo
before.
coop it all together thoroughly so the
You
peppers
do
get
use
really,
the
really
Robo
small.
Coop.
Yes, you can't chop that up.
And I love the silverware we're using.
Yes, it's lovely. It's our finest. It's our finest here at RB.
It's a little bit browner than I like because we never cook on the stovetop, but I guess the Panini Grille, we watch it, it gives it some nice grill marks. So, and then I make sure the cheese normally is just oozing out of it, and then you let it set for a minute, and then cut it up.
So is it inappropriate for me to pick it up?
No, you
I
pick it
don't
up and
think
dip
so.
it.
I think that's
This
especially,
is the sauce. Can you talk a little bit about
that's
the sauce?
delicious. But I'm going to
Sour
have it.
cream, some Chipotle peppers, Robo Coop with salt and pepper. Very simple.
Very good.
It was taught to me, and I pass it on to you. I developed a menu with a chef friend of mine, so we did everything together.
I'm not double dipping so that.
It's
our
okay, it's
students-
yours. That's why
yours.
I This is the one
30
plate you're getting
seconds.
on your own, so
We
double
can.
dip all you want.
But the
I think
students
we
on
have
the
to hurry
set-
up and tell them what we think of.
Oh,
Yeah, why don't
are
you,
they telling us to go?
Yes.
Why don't we
they
start with the
are.
student over here,
We're
Lauren?
Too busy eating.
This is absolutely awesome. You can taste the cheese. The chicken is awesome. The sauces, I can't say enough of them. I don't
Cool.
know which one I want more.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
don't see
good.
that very often
Very
anywhere.
good.
I think even without the sauce, I agree with you 100%, but even just without the sauces, it has a nice flavor that if you want a milder taste,
Sure.
but still flavorful.
Excellent.
So thank you.
Yeah, I think you did a great job, just the balance of everything, and this is awesome. I
Excellent.
mean, it looked simple.
Excellent.
But you know what you're doing.
Well, they gave me an A, so we're gonna go back to we're gonna go to commercial. When we come back, we're gonna start our spinach artichoke dip. We'll see you right back. Hi, welcome back to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti, and today we're hosting my restaurant, Calvetti's Martini Grille, located in Riverside. And to sit here and try my different plates I'm cooking today is our celebrity panel of judges. Mr. John Passarella is back, Mrs. Patty Farley, and our oldest student in the school, Miss Lauren Presta.
Thank you.
Welcome and thank you. So they gave me an A+ on my first dish. I'm going to start my second dish and see if we can keep it rolling here. Now I'm making my spinach and artichoke dip, which is probably one of my top 3 best sellers. You start off with some fresh cream cheese, and then I have prepared here some fresh spinach. Let's put this over here. You get some. You can get some frozen spinach, you know, and then strain it.
Pete, you come up with these dishes?
Yes.
Is something you just say,
Me and
I love
a
artichokes.
chef friend of mine that originally opened with me.
Really?
Yeah, we've had some turnover since I've opened, but yeah, he's worked at some great restaurants as well as I have. So we designed everything together.
So this isn't your first restaurant
No, I used to own the hot dog stand in Riverside over there for a couple years. Everyone knew me as Heavenly Hot Dogs guy.
You were the heavenly
Oh,
hot
you
dog guy?
were.
Yeah, that was my place.
Okay. Now I know. I'm like,
How did the dogs become heavenly?
I don't know. I was gonna
They
call it.
are. They
You know what? To
honestly
be honest with
didn't
you, John, I was gonna call it Uncle Pete's, which
love
was
it.
my favorite place.
That's
You know,
awesome.
because of my little nieces and I feed everybody in the
For
block.
sure.
Everyone calls me Uncle Pete.
That would have been cool.
Chop up some artichokes as well. Artichoke hearts in a can, or fresh, but then you gotta cook them and stuff
It's amazing
like that.
how great artichokes taste.
Quartered artichoke hearts, just chop them up.
Jeez. They're pretty healthy for you, aren't they, Pete?
Yes.
I was hoping Mrs. Farther would chime in. You know,
I knew
being
you were
this-
waiting for that, and in my head, I'm trying to go through all of the different. It's
She says that
obviously
all
a
the time.
vegetable. It's a vegetable. So vegetables
How do you know it's a
are good.
vegetable?
Oh well, I don't know. You tell me.
Pete will tell us. He's the expert.
Some sour cream here.
So as you're sitting there creating these dishes, you kind of play with it a little bit? You know,
Yeah, we
you
tweak
test
them.
it a little bit? You know,
We
see
tweak them.
what's-
I have a dressing that a signature dressing that I have in my salads. It's no longer on my menu, but we went through days and days of just going over and
literally
over again.
eating it and trying it.
Yes,
That's what you
yeah,
do.
it's difficult,
What do you
but I'm
think?
good
What
at
do
it.
you
So
think? Come on now.
well, you
some
need
fresh
taste
cracked
testers.
pepper.
If you need any taste testers, we're always
Yeah, I can
available.
tell. I
We'll
got
walk
I'll get
over.
all your numbers after the show. So it'll be great.
Okay, good.
Especially in the summer for lunch. If you can do it during lunch.
Are you open
Pete,
for lunch?
that's a great,
No, not
No.
right now. Right now, I just
Okay.
do the
great segue.
Right now, I just open from 5 until midnight,
Okay.
and then one on the weekends.
And do you do any type of catering? And
Yeah, I do.
know
I do good parties over there. Anywhere from 20 to 50, 60 people. I do like little mini banquets and stuff like that. It's a very intimate setting. It's not like you're in 4 white walls and, that was some Parmesan cheese, and that pretty much concludes it. Mix it all together.
For those who just tuned in, where are you located again?
34 East Avenue in Riverside. No one knows where East Avenue is, including me, and I went to school down the block there. So I tell them I'm right in front of the water tower.
Like literally in front of it? You got a table set out there?
You walk out my front door, and the water tower is 30 feet in front of me. The tracks are 100 feet to my right.
So you're right there.
So yeah, there's a ballet school in the corner of the building.
Ah, sure.
I'm that
Oh,
big
that's-
old building there in the corner.
Have you taken ballet?
Okay.
No, I haven't.
That's something.
Never really had an interest in
Neither
doing
have
it.
I.
I
Just
wrestled and
curious.
did football in high school. So
Well, there's a belly in that somewhere.
all right. So,
So
now
is
we're
this
gonna
something
heat
that's
this up.
prepared in advance, Pete, or is this something that
You can, yeah, definitely. You can make this in advance. Hold it in the refrigerator. It's probably good for 3 to 5 days.
That looks great.
And yeah, this is just fresh. I mean, they make a lot. They have a lot of these available in the store, different varieties. You can use, some Asiago cheese. You can use different cheeses with it.
Do you know the health benefits of artichokes, though, Pete? I mean,
No, I do not,
Because
to
there's
be
got to
honest with
be
you.
some.
There
no
are
doubt.
a lot, and I apologize for not having
Where's
that
my
information just spew out of my mouth.
Well, one of them is we don't have to fry it. That's healthy in itself.
Well, and it's green, so we
Green.
don't have enough green in our diet. So you know that
Well, speak
there's
for
a
yourself.
lot of vitamins
I'm all
and
green.
minerals. It is a carbohydrate, a lot of good vitamins and minerals
I can't imagine
present,
not. It just looks healthy.
Yeah.
and especially if you steam it
Oh, really? And
compared to frying
warming
it.
it up a little.
Sometimes restaurants will do a fried breaded
Right. Yes.
artichoke, and then you're getting into a lot more oils than.
Pete, you didn't end up
Mm-hmm.
starting. That sounds right.
Yes,
At
you
where you're at.
No, this
So
is my
where did
second
you-
restaurant I
He
opened. I
still
started
wants to
after I
broke it
graduated
down.
high school, went to Georgia, learned the Mexican restaurant business, found out I was great in the kitchen. I loved it, but I loved it out front with the customers. After that, I moved to Chicago and joined the Olive Garden Darden Group.
Oh, really?
And it was a great contrast of me starting with family business and then going to a corporate setting. And I learned more there in 6 months than I learned in 6 years at the other place. Just
Well, did you learn more the
systems and-
business side?
the
of
business
the
side, the
restaurants?
systems, setting everything in place. It's
Sure.
a well-oiled wheel.
Sure.
You get everything, introduced and perfect, and the recipe's down. And it doesn't matter how many cooks you have.
For
You
sure.
can, you teach them the right way, and then the wheel keeps turning. you know.
Sure.
You know, if for those students out there, I know we talked about it briefly. What do you suggest to them? Just like, is it being open-minded, being flexible, the time commitment, a little bit of everything?
Time commitment is a big thing. I mean, because I grew up doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week.
Sure.
You know.
So you got to put your time in to reap those rewards on the back.
It's the consistency of it. You got to have the mentality for it of sitting in a kitchen with 3-4 guys all day.
All right, what's in the kitchen? Like, there's the one guy, I forget his name, on the Food Network. He says, "I've done every job in the food." What's one job? I mean, if he done just,
Oh, you got to know how to do dishes, how to grill, how to fry, how to be the setter. That means you're bringing everybody together. So, for instance, I used to work on the line at Olive Garden, but I used to have 9 guys behind the line with me. So I used to call out. You can't call out steak the same time you call out fettuccine Alfredo. On the steaks, you got to say, a T-bone ribeye. You got to wait about 6-8 minutes. Then you call that out. You know, so it all comes together
At the same
at the same time in your window. So 10 people get their food at the same time,
Right.
which is something that
It's got to be
takes
a
while.
challenge.
Sure, it does.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
obviously experience brings you to that
Timing.
point.
Okay.
Now, your child goes to school here.
Yes, my son's a freshman. I tried to get him
you're
in here with me,
invested in
but
our
he was
district.
sick last week, so his grades are more important than TV show.
So I'm
Smart
sure
move
he
there.
signed up for the culinary course.
I
for
think he
next
did,
year.
yes. Now, again, against because I'm always an out-of-box thinker, I usually this comes with tortilla chips of some sort. I do this with some bagel chips and some pita chips. Kind of make it stick out a little bit differently.
Which I appreciate as a customer because I like to experience something I'm familiar with, but just presented differently.
I always like
Yeah, I
doing the
think it's
norm,
really
but then
nice.
changing it up
Yes,
a little bit.
Right.
yes.
So does that mean you go out with strangers, to the familiar, you just sit at someone's table, or are you going to the dinner? Are you going
Right.
there with people
I'm
you
so
know?
busy I don't
You know,
get
the
to get out
familiar,
much.
the
I don't
change.
get out much.
I'm
so
sure
I-
she's always cooking herself.
Is your family going out without you?
Some plates over here for you guys.
I think I'm going to take the smallest plate.
Oh.
Ladies,
Obviously a little bit of a rushed job here, sorry,
slide
but
that
It's
over to the
okay.
ladies.
take a sample of that freshness.
After you, ladies.
Go ahead. Let's just
Let the student go first.
Yes, the young student.
She's youngest.
I'll
You
do
can just
it.
take a cracker and dip it too. It's fine.
Yeah.
You
So I
gonna be
get
okay getting your own
I get
there?
your first remark
Do you
there.
want me to put some on
Would
your
you mind?
plate?
That was
I don't
very
mind
nice
at
of you.
all. I don't mind.
The elderly taking care of the
Oh,
young.
there you go. There you go.
Oh.
No, you can't. That's too
We'll
good.
get
Just
you
put
later.
one spoon on. That's it. Come on.
Oh, okay. Well,
That looks too good. I love
Lauren,
it.
since you started, why don't you give me your first opinion of it over here?
which
Is it hot enough?
I figured you could pick your. Oh, right when she's
It's
got
perfect,
something in
yeah,
her
let
See,
me
it's steaming a
make sure.
little bit, but usually
is
what
warm,
I do
it's
is I heat it
perfect.
up, you know.
I don't want to burn my tongue on it, but I love it. It's creamy. I can taste the spinach. I can taste
fresh.
the artichoke. I can taste the cheese. It's like you can taste everything in it.
It's important
Very
the right
good.
amount of
It
ingredients.
is.
That's
It's
what I was
perfect.
just
It's not
gonna
too
say.
much of
Miss
anything.
Patty?
It's a nice balance.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry,
I just
Pam.
Stop,
wanted
you're going
to eat
last
more.
next time,
Sorry.
okay?
I think
Sorry.
you're gonna have to.
I think the
want
balance of
food.
all the ingredients, you haven't smothered anything. You taste them all. So I
Excellent.
think it's perfect.
Excellent.
Perfect. I love
Excellent.
the taste of the artichoke.
Okay.
Nice
Well, we got their comments. We're going to come back and we're going to do our chip salsa and guacamole next. We'll be right back. See you in a minute.
There you go.
Hi, welcome back to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti, and today we're featuring my restaurant, Calvetti's Martini Grille, located in Riverside, right in front of the water tower. Who's here trying my some of my signature dishes? Well, it's our celebrity panel over here, Mr. John Passarella,
Thanks for having me, Pete.
Miss
Mr.
Patty,
Fowler.
Miss Patty Farley,
Hi.
and Mrs. Lauren Presta.
Oldest student in the building.
Welcome again. So we're ready to try our third dish of the day, which is my famous chips, salsa, and guacamole. I make my guacamole from scratch. Well, we're gonna say pretty much from scratch. The restaurant business, it's so hard dealing with
Scratch.
the pulp and the avocados, getting them at the right. You know.
Right.
So speed is of necessity. So I need my mixing bowl back, guys. So what I use is I use a pulp, and yeah, just wipe it down. What I do is I use a pulp, and it's a lot more consistent than the average avocado. A little bit cheaper, a little bit more cost, you know, a little bit more cost effective, less wastage, you know. And I make each batch fresh at a time, so I'm not making large batches and just serving it as we go. So I make each fresh batch at a time. That's
awesome.
Okay. So this starts off with, you guys ready? This starts off with the guacamole pulp, and then it comes with some salsa, and here you go. Sorry about that. Some salsa, some fresh limes, fresh lime juice, some salt and some pepper. It's actually pretty easy.
Pete, avocados. How do you know they're fresh? How do you know they're ripe?
Well, if they're too hard, you know, then you gotta sit there and wait for them to ripen out.
So you just-
so it's soft to the touch.
Soft to the
but
touch.
then if you get it too much, then it's you know then it's gonna be brown inside.
Sure.
And then you're gonna have a lot of waste and stuff like
Brown's
that.
not a good
so,
thing.
Not
all
in
these
this
guys are
case.
killing me.
Because
But if you
bananas
want,
Bring it.
no, it's not.
fine.
If
That
you
was good
want
for
to
you.
ripen it, you can just put it in a brown paper bag. and
Brown
then that will
paper
help
bag?
Ripen it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of little secrets to that. So
That
Is
all
that
has to do
should
with
we
the
not let that
chemical.
out to the public? Because if it's a secret,
there's
I don't
different
want it to be
Hispanic
known that
secrets and
it's
stuff.
out.
Yeah.
If Mr. Gobble was here, he would explain all of the
Oh,
science.
Mr.
to that.
Science.
'Cause
So
it
air
is.
does that.
So I just squeeze a little bit of this, and this, you know, this is good. You can get this at stores as well.
I
So,
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Get
and
outta
it's
here.
hard. You know, you got to deal with it. And trust me, coming from the Mexican side, dealing with the fresh guacamole. I used to cut a case a day, and it's just
Quesadilla?
turn a case a day. Yeah.
Almost sounds
Make
like
that stuff.
quesadilla. Quesadilla,
and here's the normal John's back.
Oh, he's on today, boy.
My little secret is I add a little salsa or pico, it's called. Picos would take a long time to make, but I make a fresh pico. And
Son will love this. Pico sauce, right?
so you can make pico, and that's a good dipping thing itself. And then what you do is just add like 2 teaspoons to your batch, 2 or 3 teaspoons to your batch of guacamole, and that you already have the flavor from the pico. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I add a
No
little.
fresh cilantro, though. I don't see fresh cilantro.
That's in the salsa.
Oh, it is?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. I combine
saw it.
all that into
Okay,
the
I
pico.
didn't see
Oh, I
that.
could see it.
Jalapenos, onions, tomatoes, cilantro.
Okay.
Season that.
Okay.
And then I add 2 teaspoons or 3 teaspoons of that to my guacamole. So you're kind of getting a blast of flavor there. Take some
This
fresh
really
limes.
helps with you getting things to the front of the house at a much
Exactly.
faster rate, too.
Well, like I say, front of the house. I was visualizing like we're in the kitchen at our homes and we're rushing it to the front of the
Do you
house.
say living room?
You eat a lot in the front
Do
of
you
your
say living
house?
room or front room?
Hey, that's a little personal. I don't want to talk about the house right now.
We don't want to be
my
in John's
concept.
living room.
Exactly. It's not bad. We'll light the fire and have a little
I think
quesadilla.
the lime just really.
You like
The
the lime?
lime
I do.
has to
I
be
love the
fresh
lime,
squeezed
yeah.
lime. You
She
can't go
smiled
any
when you did that. So
different direction.
she's not lying.
I,
And at her age, we don't want her to lie.
Some fresh.
What?
Salt and pepper.
It's very simple. I mean, you don't have to get too technical with it. So you can make it as salty as you want, less salty.
What kind of salt is that?
It's just a regular big
Coarse.
grain salt that
Coarse.
gets cracked. Mediterranean sea salt.
Mediterranean.
Yeah. A little larger, a little bit more flavorful. I don't even think I use table salt with anything.
I know.
You gotta have,
No.
you gotta have
I
everything.
have it in front of me though, just for
I mean, just
decor.
a fresh crack. You guys can hear that cracking. I mean, it's fresh peppercorns being cracked up.
Releases
It's
the
basically pepper that hasn't been
flavors.
cracked up yet.
Very nice.
So this is like you're cracking it for your dish right there. Salt, pepper. That is it, guys. You're gonna mix this around.
And what is this called again, Pete?
Guacamole.
What do you think?
Let's say it all together, guys.
Guacamole. I thought it was a special day.
and you're here first. The day that it was
It's a part of my
invented.
famous dish, chips,
The day that it
salsa,
was
and guacamole.
invented.
It's called guacamole. You're
Guacamole.
making fun of me, man.
No.
Or I'll take this with me when I go. I
He
like
can get away. He can get away
Sorry,
with
don't
it.
touch your peppers, man. I'm messing with a guy's
I'm
pepper.
Italian
lord.
and Mexican. So that's an old joke from my first restaurant I worked at. I'm Italian and Mexican. They call me a hard worker with an attitude.
There you go.
And it stuck with me for the last 15 years.
I like that though.
Fresh, creamy. There's, again, so many other things you can do with this. Add more tomatoes, less tomatoes. Some people add sour cream. You can add so many other things to this. But this is the basic, good. I get compliments on it all the time.
I'm amazed by the amount of dishes, obviously, a restaurant has, and then just pulling off that logistical nightmare, it seems like, from the customer side to get it all out at the same time. I know you
It's
talked about
preparation,
it.
organization.
Mise
I mean, like I
en
said, Olive
place.
Garden, where we used to handle 1,200
Mise en
people.
place.
For sure.
1,200 people in one sitting, it's preparation. It's getting organized, having everything prepped. So you take everything out, drop it so it cooks in 3 to 5 minutes, and then you're putting it out
Sure,
there.
for sure.
Mise en place.
Mise en place.
Yes.
Guacamole.
It's a key culinary term.
Is
Place
it?
is very.
Yeah.
Thanks for like flexing your muscle.
Yeah, I just like to throw it out there.
If you don't have mise en place, if everything's not where it's supposed to be,
Right.
I agree with you.
then
Disaster.
yes.
Disaster.
And you can't have a disaster when you have
Well, you can, but not
40
twice.
people out there waiting for dinner.
They may not stop back. No.
Well,
And that was one
enjoy-
thing I learned, from the small restaurant to the big restaurant, is if you could please pass it in the middle.
No, I
Patty
will
always
not.
gets the good seat, doesn't she?
I do.
Oh, hey, pass it on down.
He doesn't know what
It's
the middle
not
is either.
soup.
This is the middle right in front of me. It's not for me.
He thinks it's split pea and tomato soup.
This
It's
looks
done.
good.
It's done.
Why is it always
Here,
in
I'm
front
here.
of her? Oh, because she's the
Because
oldest.
I'm
and
the
she can't
oldest.
She
reach.
got here first.
We don't want her to.
What she
throw her
said is, when
elbow.
she got to set it, she goes, I'm here first, I'm in the middle, because I know
I
the food's
was.
going to come to me.
I arrived on time today.
Yeah,
I
but
was
you
here.
can't do anything without these.
There you go.
Why?
Big.
Here,
You'd be
put that in front of
amazed
you.
how
Dip away.
Here, ladies.
Why
Here you
can't
go.
we
We
do
don't have any
anything
little
without
plates.
We have a
Not
little.
even
No, we
that
just
little
dip
plate,
it.
none whatsoever.
The spoons are just for
I'm
show.
Just going this way.
Yeah, in case I'm just
I don't want to be rude and
being
reach
proper.
across.
But yeah, dip it away.
Okay.
Why?
but
Tell me, give me your
no
first
double
reaction.
dipping.
What do you mean
No,
double?
it's-
I have
Seinfeld
relative-
made it
don't
famous.
you- yeah, that was wrong.
So while you guys are munching, I do parties. I do, birthdays, anniversaries, christenings. Have my own christening, my daughter's christening there.
try this
Different celebrations, different packages.
Very good.
So if you guys ever teachers' parties,
We don't party.
Well, can you open for lunch in the summer so we can watch
I can
it?
work on it. I can do a private lunch for you guys.
Oh, you
So what do you
heard it
think?
Here. You heard it here. Private lunch.
That was really good.
May 1st is my birthday, so.
Oh, excellent. I already have a party that day, but
65.
I'm booked right now, but that's a good thing.
65. I'm that day.
Stop it, John. So your first thoughts, guacamole, salsa? I didn't make the chips, so I can't take
I'm
credit
gonna
for it.
just-
Very good.
Delicious.
Again, the freshness.
It
That's
is. That's
what's so
what I-
important. You can't get that quick-made processed stuff. You can totally
Salsa's
tell with the
really good.
freshness.
The salsa's just got enough of a zing to it. Not too
Yes.
hot, but a nice zing.
Is this the picante or the salsa?
No, it's a
That's
salsa. It's
Okay.
that's a
The
different
guacamole.
style. That's the
Guacamole.
guacamole.
Green
yeah,
stuff is
the
the
green
guacamole.
stuff that
Green
you've
is
never,
These are the
you've never
chips.
seen
All right, I'm
before.
gonna get more than this.
All three of these appetizers were great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
It's
the
good finger
appetizer
food in my
menu.
place. I also have, burgers and nachos. I make a killer nacho, which is fantastic. A pile of those chips, a pile of chili, a pile of that cheese from the quesadillas. I cook that up in a toaster oven or convention oven. That comes out gooey. I top with a little lettuce, a little of the chipotle sour cream that you guys like,
Yes,
and a little bit
love
of that
that.
salsa.
Oh, yum.
It's fantastic.
That's
I
awesome.
bet.
So.
Great job.
could
Well, I
do
want to
it.
thank
Thumbs
you
up.
guys so much for trying my food and
thank you.
judging me fairly and favorably. Thanks a lot,
Oh,
guys.
yes.
It was
We're
easy.
here, we're here
The-
for you.
the-
Thank
I'm your
you.
host, Pete Calvetti. You've been watching Cook This, and we thank you for your time until our next episode. I'll see you then.
Great
Bye.
job.